The bravest are surely those who have the clearest vision of what is before them, glory and danger alike, yet notwithstanding go out to meet it. Charles Himsel introduced this phase to me shortly after September 11, 2001, but he had in mind the firefighters of the Fire Department of New York City as they were rushing into the World Trade Center shortly before they fell. But this was also Chuck's attitude in general. He was a member of the Fire Department of Mount Horeb, Wisconsin for 45 years. From 1976 until his death, he was the chief of the department. As the chief of the department, he kept many traditions of the fire service alive, beginning with the chrome bell on all the apparatus. In the old days, the bell was used to signal that the fire engine was coming through and for people to clear their path. As time went on, this was replaced by the Federal Q siren, which is a classic mechanical siren that you think of when you think of fire apparatus. Chuck also introduced red and green lights on the apparatus in Mount Horeb, harking back to naval tradition to signal port and starboard on a ship. When you look at the firefighters in Mount Horeb, you'll see that they're all wearing leather helmets. Leather helmets were the first ones used in the fire service to protect firefighters in the event of any type of accident. In addition to traditions, Chuck also had a phrase that he liked to use, and it was sharing the pride. It meant not only be proud of what you have, but also be proud in yourself. Be proud of your people, your coworkers, and be proud of the apparatus that you get to use. Chuck's influence went well beyond Mount Horeb. If you walk into a firehouse anywhere in the region, you can ask them who Chuck Himsel is, and they can tell you exactly what he taught them, or they can tell you a good story about him. Chuck was an advocate to all, with a true passion for the fire service. He was an educator to the core, and if you had a minute, he'd sit you down and he'd tell you something about the job. And he also was very well at apparatus design. He didn't believe that an apparatus should be used for just one purpose, that it should have multiple capabilities. You're not just going to have a single pumper, but you're going to have a pumper tanker. You're not going to have just a truck company, you're going to have a truck that has an engine. His ideas were spread throughout the world, and if you ask anybody, they'll probably know who he is. We are merely passing through, the guardians and custodians of a noble profession. This certainly describes Chuck. Those who know him know that he is one of the guardians, the true guardians of the profession. He was the chief of the department, but you could say he's also the chief guardian. He answered his last alarm here on earth, but he lives on in the hearts and minds of everyone who met him. We will never forget. Rest in peace, Chuck. We have the watch now.